The year 2011 was challenging for me. I found out I wasn't very good at high-level math, which was slightly disappointing because of my keen interest in the sciences. In 2011, the Boston Bruins won the Stanley Cup.
For the first time in 39 years, the Boston Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
2011 was the year that Rebecca Black's debut hit single Friday was released to the masses. 5 years after their 2007 trip to the dance, the Ottawa Senators still didn't have a ring, and things were getting worse. It was at the tail end of a rough January in 2011. The team had won just a single game in that month, and rumors were swirling about the futures of GM Brian Murray and Sens coach at the time, Corey Clouston. In an Ottawa Sun exclusive, team owner Eugene Melnyk cleared the air. He let fans know that Brian Murray and Corey Clouston would not be let go that season. Murray was signed to a 3-year extension, while Clouston and his staff were ultimately let go. Then, changes swept the nation's capital. Longtime Ottawa favorite Mike Fisher was traded to the Nashville Predators for a first-round pick in the 2011 draft. That pick was Stefan Noesen. 5 days later, Chris Kelly was shipped to the Boston Bruins for a 2011 second-round choice. With that, Ottawa selected Shane Prince. 2 days after, Jarkko Ruutu was sent to the Anaheim Ducks for a 2011 6th-round pick, which they used to select Max McCormick. 24 hours later, Ottawa sent a struggling Brian Elliott to the Colorado Avalanche for Craig Anderson, who has become a mainstay in the Ottawa crease.
Down low, Anderson sprawls and makes the save.
1 week passes, and Alexei Kovalev is dealt to the Penguins for a conditional pick Ottawa used to select Ryan Dzingel. Mika Zibanejad, Matt Pumpel, and Kyle Turris were other notable players acquired by the Senators in 2011. In June of the same year, Paul McLean was named head coach of the Ottawa Senators. The changes made during 2011 altered the face of the franchise and set the path for a hopeful return to contention. While the team made the playoffs 3 times since those changes were made, fans wouldn't describe the team as a contender in any of those scenarios. When Eugene Melnyk went public about his intentions in 2011, he told Bruce Garriock of the Ottawa Sun the following: "Don't think for 1 second that we're not putting a plan in place that's methodical, calculated, and with a lot of forethought to win a Stanley Cup. The reason I've been quiet is I've been working on a plan. That plan is now in motion." He also said, "We're going to do what it takes to bring the Stanley Cup to Ottawa, whether it takes 1, 3, or 5 years. It will happen. You have my commitment." By January of this 2015-16 season, the 5th year since Mr. Melnyk verbalized that commitment, the Ottawa Senators were not a contender. Based on current projections, they stand to miss the playoffs for the second time in 3 seasons. #TankNation and Team Tank have started filling Twitter timelines in reference to this season's Senators. Fans seem eager to fall to the bottom of the standings with the objective of achieving a high draft pick. With that, an alarming question surfaces. What happened to the commitment of 2011? Are we closer to a Stanley Cup contender in Ottawa today than we were 5 years ago? Mr. Melnyk gave fans his word. We should be careful about hanging on to the word of another, but these days, Sens fans don't have a lot else to hold on to.